Hey everybody. Okay, I'm back. Um I am using a new tool to do my videos. Um my sister got me a nice tripod with the light to take videos, and I just put pillows on the chair so I can be a little bit higher on my sitting arrangement here while I grate the yautía, the malanga. See, I keep it in one piece. So I'm going to get ready to grate it. I'll show you a little bit, then I'll stop the video. Welcome to Anna's Kitchen. And we're making Spanish style Puerto Rican pasteles my way. I got a recipe, but it's all pretty much the same. You use the green bananas, you use malanga, which is yautía. If you don't know what it looks like, I showed before in the other videos, which you'll see. But this is after you peel it. Keep it in one piece. It's easier to grate that way. So when you grate it, you're going to grate it on the side I showed you. And you're just going to grate it like so. Not easy. And like I said, if it's too big and you can't handle it, you can cut it in half. Don't cut it too small. Pretty big. Let me do it this way. So I may have to cut it in half because it's too heavy on my hand. Let me get a knife. Be back. It's too big, too heavy. But you need a big piece, not small, because then it'll be hard to grate. If it's too heavy on the hand, cut it in half like I'm doing. And just be careful. Just do that. Cutting it in half. It's too heavy for my hand. Should have got a bigger knife. And I should have got the cutting board. Okay, so I cut it in half. A lot easier now, somewhat. Grating takes a toll. It's harder work. But the consistency of the dough comes out better for me and my family's opinion. If you do it in the blender, it's easier, but it comes out a little too soft. And I was telling my sisters that in Puerto Rico, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, they had this new machine they invented. It has the grate, and they made it where it's in a big kind of blender pan, like a bowl, but it's metal. And it would grate all this like a blender, but the consistency would be just like if you were doing it hand. And I don't know if they still make them. They probably do. But my family in Puerto Rico would sell hundreds of pasteles because they were like cooks, all of them. So they would sell in their little communities, whatever they made, Spanish dishes, and people would come and buy them. And again, my grandmother was an excellent cook too. Anyway, so like I was saying before, when we were young, as girls, kids, my mother would prep the pasteles stuff, the dough and the meat and everything, and the paper and the banana leaves. We would be all sitting at a table like this. We have our handkerchief. Don't forget your handkerchief. When you start to do the meat or the dough, you want to have your hair off, covered, because you don't want no hairs in your food. That was mandatory. And we would all sit in the chair, and each one had a job to do. One would prepare the paper with the banana leaf on top, pass it to the next one. She would put the achote oil, 1 teaspoon, rub it in circular motion in the middle of the banana leaf. The next one would put a plop of the dough, line it out, make it like it's, spread it out, put a tablespoon or more of the pork meat. If my mother wanted chili peppers, which she did on certain ones, she would do that last, and she would take care of putting the chili peppers, fresh chili peppers in there for the adults who love that hot Spanish patty. And then the next daughter would do the fold the paper so that the paste would fold over the other, and to make that patty, and do all the folding, and then pass it to the next person who would do the tying. Would take two single packs of the pasteles and tie them together. And then my mother would cook the first batch so we could have it for lunch. And it was fun. It was a family time, getting united, just being together. So anyway, my sisters know that. We never forget that. So there's a lot of times that we learned a lot of cooking stuff from our family. And then once we had our own family, we started really, putting into that. So I'm going to grate these, and then I'll get back to you and show you what everything looks like once it's grated. And Minerva, thank you. I'm using your video stand light that you got me for the first time. And I'll be using it more in my cooking videos. All right, people. Much love. Let me get busy.